Alright, so we're back on board. Got a couple areas where you can mess around with a little bit. So the goal here is slow speed turning, keeping the bike upright. If it does start to tuck in a little bit, I'm going to dab. You might be able to see that. I tried putting the GoPro on the right cheek so you can get a little bit of handlebar action and still see up and out. So we're going to walk through, try and walk through and narrate as we do this. So we'll come down off the hill and just start turning around some of these bushes out there. So we're up and out of the seat, leaning back a little bit as we hit the sand. So this is pretty hard packed stuff, but as I make my turns, I'm just trying to keep the bike as upright as possible. So we're moving through the sand, bike's upright, controlled, no weird throttle blips. Just weaving our way through the sand. A little bit of a dab there, a little bit of throttle, but nothing too crazy. So slow speed, you're just trying to keep the bike upright. I'm leaning off the edge of the bike a little bit, trying to keep the bike upright. And as we go through the sand, if you feel it tuck in, like as we drop in here, if you need to, just give a little bit of throttle. So now that we're actually moving, we need to stay moving and stay floating on top. The more we float on top, the easier it's going to be to steer around. Lean back a little bit through the sand, a little dab. Let's try and find us a trail. So still in first gear. A little bit of a tack, a little bit of a throttle, and some dabbing. Let's get up to second. We're a little bit more comfortable. Now that we're in second gear, the bike's going to float a lot more. And as we try and move and cruise through the sand, if we do have to change directions, bike upright and just moving the bodies. Coming up on a little higher speed turn, just let the bike stay upright, let that front cast wheel do its work. And we don't have much drama. Harder turn, so we'll just ride into the divot, a little bit of a dab, not too big of a deal. Coming into the left-hand turn, drop into the rut, just cruise right around. So once you're in second gear, sand riding's not too bad. Most of the problems I've had is down in the first gear, slow speed stuff. I think that's one of the trails we want. Let's climb up here, back down to first. Just taking it nice and easy, no drama. And you can get more aggressive with this. This is just more of a intro to sand riding, things that I found out here messing around that helps out. So dropping back into the sand, first, second, third where it's happy. Bike has a little bit of a bobble, so I just move my weight back. And now we're just cruising through the deeper sand in third gear. I got my hips behind my heels. Every once in a while you'll see the front end start to move a little bit. Just try and keep the bike upright where it's happy. Let that front little caster wheel do some work. Let's cross through here and see where this trail takes us. Some smoother sand, and you'll notice up in third gear, not much drama going on with the bike. So now that we're starting to hit some of the whoopier trails, I'm going to start moving my body and trying to keep from slamming weight down on the pegs. So a couple little whoops up here, I'm just soaking up, letting the bike move under me. You'll hear the engine tone stays pretty constant. Engine tone constant means that the bike's not digging into the sand, staying settled. Just letting it move below you, letting it go through the trails. Hit second gear, see where this one takes us. There's third. Bike's happy up in third or top end of second. A little deeper, move your body back a little bit of a turn. Let's lean the bike just a little bit, but try and keep the bars straight. Overall, let's drag that rear brake, come to a stop. Overall, this looks like a nice whooped out trail. We're just trying to keep the bike from slamming down in the sand, trying to keep the engine noise constant, RPMs constant. Get moving, couple dabs, back up on top, and drop back in. So let's see how smooth we can make these whoops. Let's try and keep that engine speed constant. Second gear. Trying to not move my wrists, not have any big throttle inputs. Just slowly working our way through. There should be a road taking us back to the right. Don't think it's that one. I could be wrong. Alright, let's focus on being smooth again. Just staying nice and loose. I'm in a tire track. That's not the one either. No, that was the one. And I can feel in the sand as soon as I stand upright, where most people will ride on off-road, like hard-packed dirt trails, the front end immediately starts digging in, and you start getting more head shakes. So if I'm leaning over the bars like this, front end's not too happy in the sand. If I'm leaning back with my butt behind my heels, no issues with the bike. All right, let's pick up some speed and try and get to where we want to go. There's a trail I take all the way to work, or most of the way to work, and it has some beautiful trails, but it's usually pretty tore up with all the side-by-sides that going through it. And that's where I want to get to. One thing you don't want to have to worry about or make yourself worry about too much is going too fast or letting the bike work itself below you. As long as the bike's working and you got the tires and the damper, I've found that she likes to stay upright as long as you're paying attention. Alright. Alright, so daily commute, this should be a good little blast. And this is the one that I wanted because the trails are rough and it's got a lot of use on them, so they usually stay pretty fluffy. Little dab there. Still in first. Let's get back up to second where she's stable. Alright, second gear. Just picking my line. Trying to keep the bike in the line, upright. Letting it work. I know this trail gets a little rough, that's why we're staying in second. But if we go to third and just let the RPMs drop a little bit, it's going to settle out the bike a little bit. We're just picking our way through. If you can find your way to the crest, could be good or bad. The bike could want to come up and out of the crest and go to the other side and get like a nasty little head shake. So usually I just try and stay in the tire groove. Let's close this visor, give us some privacy. A little deeper sand, a little bit more throttle. You can see once you get moving, once you get loose, once you get comfortable, lean back a little bit. Got some decent tires under you. Got a little bit of a steering dampener. Even the deeper, rougher sand at a decent speed isn't too big of a deal. Just got to stay loose, stay relaxed. Feel your front end, feel the rear end of the bike, see which one's biting in, and just adjust your weight accordingly. Got some deep whoops, try and be smooth, let the bike come up to meet you. If you hit it with a little bit too much speed, not a big deal, just let the butt slap the seat. Let's go to second, get ourselves turned. Get back up to speed. There's third. Now we're just trucking right along. You can see my tire tracks from a couple days ago after it rained. yeah, that's pretty much it for sand riding. Just stay smooth, stay relaxed, and just have some fun. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next video.